strive. Build a bridge over troubled waters, fly. If that's all that you have left to do, I want more. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face. Love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more, no more sorrows, no more bad days. No more cries, no more dark cold place. No more fear, no more fight. Someone told me long ago that life is just a long road. Sorry, babe, but life to me is way much more. No matter what it seems to be, it's always time to make a change. Sometimes all we need is only one more chance. So try, build a bridge over troubled water, fly. If that's all that you have left to do, I want more. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face. Love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more, no more sorrow, no more bad days. No more cries, no more dark cold place. No more fear, no more fight. I want more happy sunny days. I want more happy smiles on your face. Love sparkling the eyes. Tears no more sorrow, no more bad days. No more cries, no more dark cold place. No more fear, no more fight. Let the sun walk on the way, shine, shine. Let the sun walk down the way, shine, 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 shine.
Never lose your faith in the brightness of your eyes. Never
good of getting together. It's always good to do the good. I do believe the world can be better, and I know that you believe it too. Papa, Mama, brothers and sisters, let's get ready for a new dawn. This is the time for those big changes we have all been waiting for so long. Listen to this call, the time is right now. Here is the place, so let's move in a faster pace. Jesus waiting for us to spread His grace. It's always good of getting together. It's always good to do the good. I do believe the world can be better, and I know that you believe it too. Papa, Mama, brothers and sisters, let's get ready for a new dawn. This is the time for those big changes we have all been waiting for so long. Listen to this call, the time is right now. Here is the place, so let's move in a faster pace. Jesus waiting for us to spread His grace. Listen to this call, the time is right now. Here is the place, so let's move in a faster pace. Jesus waiting for us to spread His grace. Jesus waiting for us to spread His grace.
When life lends a hand, it's time to open up your heart. It is time to love one another. It's time to take part. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into song. Our dream become reality, and we join Jesus for eternity. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart and charity, our lives are transforming into song. Our dreams become reality, and we join Jesus for eternity. Source of love that radiates, warming up our cold nights, support and comfort support and comfort, cascades flowing down the mountain, calling the children of earth with love in their hearts, with love in their hearts. My soul never loses hope, because your love always teaches me the solution lies in hard work. The solution lies in hard work. My soul never loses hope, because your love always teaches me the solution lies in hard work. The solution lies in hard work. Oh, my mother's Ephraina, harvest of wonderful blessings. Make your small son a good Christian. Make your small son a good Christian. And today's special Mary, did you know that your baby boy will one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would save our sons and daughters? Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? This child that to deliver will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy will give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will come with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? When you kiss your little baby, you kiss the face of God. Mary, did you know? Mary, did you know? The blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead will live again. The lame will leap, the dumb will speak, the praising of the Lamb. Mary, did you know that your baby boy is Lord of all creation? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day rule the nations? Did you know that your baby boy is heaven's perfect lamb? The sleeping child you're holding is the great I am. Mary, did you know?
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to our public meeting. We thank everyone for joining us tonight. Before we start, we would like to share a couple of announcements. We ask you to turn off your phone notifications and find a quiet place to stay during this time if it's possible. Our meeting will have a 30 minutes presentation followed by Q&A. Following the presentation, we will have a spiritual treatment with passes and magnetized water. So we invite you to set aside a container with your water to be magnetized. We have a special invitation for those who want to learn more about Spiritism. Get to Know to Spiritism is an online and free course that happens every Saturday at 5:15 p.m. East. The next class will be on this Saturday, May 7th, and the theme of this will be family. What an amazing topic, right? So if you are interested, join us. The registration link will be posted in the chat. We also invite everyone to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube from the Spiritism Canada and the Spiritist group Path of Life. So now I invite everyone to join me with our opening prayer. Let's close our eyes if you wish. Elevate our thought in God. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to be here one more Tuesday in order to start about your teachings, and especially today about your mother. We ask your blessing for us, our family, and for all the humanity. Please, Master Jesus, bless our friend Anna during her presentation, and may we can learn from her. Thank you for everything you have done for us. And we ask your protection, your mercy, and your love for everyone, today and always. So be it. The topic of today's special meeting is Mary of Nazareth, which will be facilitated by our sister Ana Oliveira from Alabama States. We also would like to announce that our public meeting is being retransmitted today by Continental Conference America through their Facebook and will be retransmitted every Wednesday at 8 p.m. by Kardec Radio through their Facebook as well. Everyone is welcome to write comments and questions in the chat, and we will address the questions at the end of the talk. So now we invite our tonight's speaker, Anna. Welcome, Anna.
Hello, everyone. It's
Welcome
always,
back.
yes, it's always great to be here with you guys.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
All right, so let me share my slides on my computer. Oh. Oh, share screen. Sorry. Oh, oh, just one moment. Can you all see the correct um, screen? So can you all see the correct screen? Oh, yes. Okay. All right, guys. All right. So again, thank you for the invitation. And today, it's so great to talk about Mary of Nazareth, mother of Jesus, but also mother of all of us. So as a special treat or a way to honor the moms, we'll talk a little bit about this Holy Mother, right? That we have, that Jesus himself at the cross, told the disciples that, she's also our mom. So, at the time that Jesus was coming, right, there were other spirits who came around that time to actually help, right? Help the coming of the Christ, what it was, a big event for earth. And Mary was one of those high spirits that came, right, to help with this mission. So, the Spiritist literature tell us that Mary came from the planet Sirius, right, as a part of these enlightened spirits that will help us um, during this special time when Jesus came. So, the highest the spirit, it seems like the lowest the upbringing, right? More simple their lives are. And that was not different with Mary. So her mom and dad, it took them quite some time to actually have her. So they were a little bit elderly at that time, right? And since from the beginning, right, she always had a very religious and very nice and sweet and calm demeanor to her life, right? It's all of this trajectory of Mary makes her not just special for us Christians, but also she's actually mentioned in the Quran, right? There's a chapter for herself, and also she's considered only one of four perfect women, right? For us to see that, many different religions, they also see the virtues of Mary, right? So since the beginning, she even though she lived in a place which was, the Palestine at that time was, maybe even today, but, at that time was in a lot of turmoil and everything. And so there was a lot of suffering, a lot of struggle, but that never actually affected Mary's character, right? She stayed that docile and very motherly figure since the beginning. But she had this upbringing that was very religious and very, she was very dedicated to the temple and to God and to the traditions, right? If you ask me, one of the most important examples um, of Mary that I usually like to think, if I have to make a decision that is a hard decision, sometimes I have to remind myself of what Mary said to the angel Gabriel when she received the news that she was going to be the mother of Jesus. Because, but God is perfect and he does everything the perfect way. Because if it was me, 16, 17 years old, and an angel came and said, you're going to be the mother of the Son of God, I would be like, what? Are you okay? Right? Are you crazy? What happened? I mean, I don't understand. Right? Maybe I would say, are you speaking a different language that I don't understand? But the answer from Mary, it's like it's spot on. If you think of her as a servant of God, as a faithful woman, right? A woman of God. She simply says, here is a servant of the Lord. Let it be done to me according to your word, right? If it were me, I would be thinking, oh my gosh, what is going to happen now? How I'm going to be able to do this? I will be thinking about tomorrow, 1 year from now, 10 years from now, what I have to do. but she has, this trust in God and in this faith, and she's ready for that testimony. So even though that is such a big news, that probably caught her a little bit by surprise, but not much, because inside of her, I think she knows that that's why she came anyway, right? So in this book, Religion of the Spirits, they describe, right, the choice of Mary to be the mother of Jesus. So it says that they were looking for, right, God was looking for someone in the world to exercise the necessary guardianship over this precious life of the divine ambassador, supreme power of the universe. He did not hesitate to turn to the selfless women hidden in a faded home, simple and humble, concealing the experience of the wise, fragile as a lily. She carried with her the endurance of the diamond. And we know that, right? Because how strong she had to be as a woman, as a mother, to see all the suffering, all the things that were going to happen to her son, right? Poor among the poor. She carried in her own virtue the incorruptible treasures of the heart. Destitute among men, she was great and prestigious before God, right? And that's why in the Annunciation, the angel actually called her blessed, right? And we cannot forget that Joseph also has a little, or has part in this, being the protector of Jesus and of this family too, right? Because the angel now goes and tells Joseph the same news that he told Mary, and after sometimes he comes also to be okay with that, and he also gives his testimony of his faith, right? And then when you think of the birth of this baby, this special baby, right? It was again the simplest, birth, right? And I'm sure that even like the song that Publius sang to us, that's one of my favorite Christmas songs. Mary, did you know? Can you imagine in this picture, like, Mary, holding baby Jesus, and, like, with the forgetfulness of the past that we learn in Spiritism, just in her heart, she really could know some of these things, right? All the greatness of that baby, and all that instinct of protecting and helping, in that feeling that we have as moms, and as parents, that we want the kids close to us, had to be mixed with this idea that she knew how great he was, like, how important our children are too, that we have to kind of exercise that letting go too. And I think it being a mom, right, we all have to exercise that faith too, right? That our children are God's children, right? They are here under our guidance and protection, but they actually have their missions and their lives, of their own. And then, these people around Mary, like Elizabeth and Zacharias, they are her cousins. They can kind of see, what a magical moment in this family when Elizabeth, who is pregnant with John Baptist, actually, as she receives Mary visiting her, she actually exclaims, right, that she's blessed among women, because she said that just when her greeting came to her ears, the little child in her womb leaped for joy. So John Baptist can already feel the vibrations of baby Jesus in the very early stages, right there, right? And the another beautiful, kind of a prayer, it's the Canticle of Mary, or the Magnificat, right? Um, Again, if it was me, I'm thinking around this time that I'm thinking, now I'm pregnant, and it's this time, and I have a fiance, and this angel came and said that he's the Son of God. Probably she already is feeling all these other feelings just for having Jesus so close to her. And I would be kind of asking God, maybe doubting him, maybe kind of having a kind of a relationship talk with him, like, okay, we need to talk this out. But Mary, she actually exalts herself in joyful and really praises to God when she says that my soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord. My spirit rejoices in God my Savior, for he has looked upon his handmaid with lowliness. Behold, for now on will all ages call me blessed. Right? So she continues with that, testimony of being faithful, of being a woman of God, right? And how many times do we really thank God for the opportunities that we have, in a way that we say, thank you for this opportunity. This is a nice opportunity. I will rejoice in this thing that I cannot quite figure it out yet. But if you're sending my way, since you are good, it has to be for my own good, and it has to be good itself, right? So uh, it's another way, another place where we see, Mary not just as a mother, but also as, a woman of God. Then she had to be Jesus' protector too, right? Because not only they just, let's say Jesus just born, and then they have to flee to Egypt, right? Because Jesus is in danger. So again, she doesn't know much about the future, but she just knows that she has to trust God and she has to keep moving, right? And because the women had a lot of responsibility in that family tradition, to actually be the ones introducing the kids, right, the sons and daughters into the religion itself. And she was a religious person, so she goes present Jesus in the temple. And then this prophet Simeon, he actually recognizes Jesus as the Messiah, and he prophesies something to Mary, saying that a sword of sorrow will pierce her soul, right? Anticipating already, the crucifixion, the passion and the crucifixion of the Christ. And, as he was growing up, can you imagine how being the mom of, a little Jesus? So, all the conversations that he had, but being a child that not just asks you maybe why all the time, but actually tells you things and talks to you about God and things, but also brings to your house not just his friends, but beggars, passbyers, right? And so it's not afraid of anything. It's such a kind person, accepts everyone, and then at the same time can be so mature and can be teaching you about God, right? So that must have been really interesting in terms of being a mother, right, to Jesus. So I think in this sense, she was learning from him too, right? As we all learn from our children too every day. But she was learning from her master too. Even though she was in the mother figure there, and you could really think that she probably went back and forth, like we usually go in this thing, like, what do I have to do for you, right? Do I need to give you more? You're a special child. I need to give you more. Like when in the book Good News, it talks about that Mary being worried about Jesus, wanting him to have more, right? And saying, and he asks her mother, what do you want from me, right? And she says, I care for you, right? I recognize that you need a better preparation for life, right? That aspiration that all mothers really, we want the best for our children. But he says, you know, mother, all useful in generations, generous preparation in the word is precious. However, I'm already with God my Father. And then he chooses, right? He chooses the school of learning the work, the trade of his father Joseph, right? So another humble thing, but telling her, and it is such a message for us too, because sometimes we think our kids really need all these, nice things. They need to be occupied all the time learning martial arts, learning different languages, learning everything. It's that really what they need, right? Can we say that they are one with God, right? They are a whole person. That is kind of, what is the main thing that it should come first. And then really I think she could see how special he was, but she knew in her heart, I mean, that's what the angel told her, even when, in the Annunciation, that she would be the mother of the Son of God, right? So she knew that, you know, he had a mission, right? That after some time, he would not be close to her the whole time. And that's, a natural motherly kind of thing, right? I think worrying, it's very a sentiment that is so, that goes together with being a mom, right? But another one is this, that, you have to let it go. And sometimes it's not so easy, right? Because we love this person so much that we don't think we can breathe or we can really live, if they're not there so close or anything. But she had to let him go too. At the same time, she had to encourage him, right, to be doing what his mission was, right? Because she knew that he was the Messiah, that he was chosen by God. So she had to be happy and let him go too, and she encouraged him, right? So she was learning all this kindness that he was showing. She was learning and so solidified this relationship with her son, and becoming even more charitable, until that, we have that big example where at the wedding they run out of wine, and she says, can you help? And he's like, but it's not my time. And she says, oh please, right? Pretty please, son, with the cherry on top. But and then he abides, right, like a good son, and because it was the proper time, then that helps. But she's also, she recognizes in him, right, what he is, and she's happy for him to start to fulfill his mission. But then I really, again, another time where Mary has to again testify of her faith when she sees her beloved son, the one that talks about the kingdom of heaven, that teach us to call God son, a father, right? The one who tell us to forgive, that tells people about love, and that life doesn't cease, that accepts everyone, that is always surrounded by people, doesn't matter what time, people with different needs, and he's always there for them. And then she sees him crucified, right? So again, when bad things happen to our sons and daughters, I think it's so easy for us to question God again, for us to, to be even mad. We can be angry. But then Mary, seeing all of that, it's not that she's not suffering. She is, because she's a mother. But through her suffering, she's such a faithful woman and such a developed and high spirit, that in that suffering, she can connect to God, and she can surrender, right? She can say that, and like it says here in the good news, because Umberto de Campos is so great at describing these emotions and describing, these characters and what people are thinking and how they are behaving in those things. So it's so rich what he's writing. But he says that in the sanctuary of her conscience, she had understood the Father's will, not according to her mother's wishes. No mother wants to see your son or daughter suffer, right? But according to the divine plans. And then she affirmed with sincere humility, Lord, he is your servant. May it be fulfilled in me according to your word. So again, another very nice testimony and another example for us, us all. Then, it says that the only title really that Mary accepted was mother, right? Or mom. And the disciples will call her mom, right? And we can see that after his crucifixion, she becomes also, she continues to be a disciple of Jesus, right? She continues working in the work of assistance and everything. And they, even when she went to Ephesus, and when she's there, and people understand that, oh, that is Mary's house, so they actually call her house the house of the Holy Mother, right? And people come with all needs, with all difficulties, and they go there to receive some relief, right, from her, from her help, right? So uh, really talking to them will bring them peace, and in everything. But it's, she was happy really when she was that still serving, right, still doing the work of the Christ. And then there is one day where she's older, and she is in her house, and then one of these beggars or these you know passes by come and calls her my mother, right? And she doesn't think that that's anything weird. There's nothing strange about that, because that's how people called her. And that, again, that's the only title that she will really accept, being so humble. Um, then he says, I come to keep you company and receive your blessings. And then that is when she says, something's kind of strange, because usually they don't come here to give me anything or to be in my company, but they come here for assistance, for me to help them. And this beggar, actually, this pilgrim, is speaking to her like if it was from heaven, right? Gently comforting her. And then she's thinking, what beggar was that who soothes the secret pains of the longing soul with such sweet balms? And then the beggar says, my mother coming to my arms, right? So then she recognizes that that is Jesus himself who comes, to bring her back to the spiritual world, that's the time of her discarnation. And she wants to kneel in front of him, like a good disciple. And he says, come into my arms, right? My mother, right? Like mom. And then, he takes her back to the spiritual world. So if you are one of those that are very strong, I dare you read that chapter in this book, Good News or Boa Nova, from the by the Spirit Umberto de Campos, by the medium Chico Xavier. And I dare you not to have your eyes a little wet after you read that, because that is like wonderful, right? Is the it's like the you see that she's not expecting that. She's still being humble. She's older and she's still trying to do the best. And he comes, is still very humble and almost trying to trick her in a sweet way, like our kids like to do to us from time to time, right? They like to play little games or to, to trick us and say, haha, I got you. So he comes like a beggar, but then he says that he wants to keep her company and receive her blessing. And then he starts talking and comforting her, so that, she can then recognize that that is my son Jesus. And then, he takes her with him. So that is really beautiful, I think. And if you think that then Mary, after she had worked so long, right, so much, she had suffered, she had seen, she started humble, simple beginnings. Towards the end, she was also simple. You think now she's gonna retire in the spiritual world, she's gonna lay back and take it easy. But no, right? Because remember, she's a mother, so there are other sons and daughters suffering somewhere. She is a servant of God. She's a disciple of Jesus, right? So then she asks Jesus for permission, for his permission to create a colony, a spiritual colony called Mary of Nazareth, where she has a hospital with the same name, where she's going to bring all these rescue spirits that died of suicide. So all of these sons and daughters, they will be helped, rescued, helped, and taken care in that hospital, right? So Ivone do Amaral Pereira is a medium, and she wrote this psychograph, right? This book, Memoirs of a Suicide, and the spirit author there is Camilo Castelo Branco, and he tells us that Mary of Nazareth is the guardian of this hospital in the spiritual realm that assists suicides, right? So all the spirits that are under the guidance of Mary of Nazareth are called the Legion of the Servants of Mary, and they work specifically in this cause of rescuing all our brothers and sisters who actually died by suicide. And I don't know if you could choose a better patron for that cause or a better coordinator, because that cause, requires so much love, right? If somebody gave up totally because they couldn't love themselves, they didn't feel loved, they just in so much despair, what, who can know exactly how to deal with all that pain and everything, if not our mother, right? The mother of Jesus, but also the mother of us all. So here is a picture. It was painted by this photographer, Vicente Avelar, and as it was dictated by the Spirit Emmanuel through the mediumship of Chico Xavier, and that would be how Mary would look. So actually, that's what I hope you can see, that as um, honoring, as we honor all mothers, that we remember of our spiritual mother too, and all the examples, all the roles that she played, and all the testimony. So then, when we need, as a mother, I pray a lot to Mary as a mother. I think I can totally connect, with God through this motherly figure. But sometimes I remember to pray for her as daughter, right? As a daughter of God, and putting myself in that situation, so then I can connect through her with God and say, see if I can say with conviction, here is the servant of the Lord. May it happen in me according to his plans, just like she did, right? So we can see that she's a God servant, a faithful woman. She's a mother, not just of her family, right, but of the extended family of us all. She's a disciple of Jesus, and she's a worker in the spiritual realm, right? So just to finalize, I wanted to read to you all this poem about Mary. So it says, a lovely woman who never had impure thoughts in her great mission. Her moral virginity was in all aspects of her life exemplary of daughter and mother, wife and companion. She was truly an angel who fell from heaven by God's mercy to help mankind. Her example of purity and love still radiates throughout the world and serves as a guideline for all women. We respect every mother in the world in this sacred mission of giving opportunity to various spirits to return to earth. However, to Mary of Nazareth, reverence must belong to all of us because she served as a divine channel so that the Lord could express himself as the Son of Man, being the instructor of the angels. So, with that, I just want to say thank you guys and say Happy Mother's Day to all mothers out there. And I'm open to any questions or any comments. Are you muted, Marceli?
Sorry.
No
Thank
problem.
you. Last week was Larissa. Was the same.
It happens to the best of
I
us.
didn't notice. So sorry. But thank you so much for your beautiful presentation. I had tears in my eyes when
Mhm,
you told about the spiritual colony
mhm,
that and she helps people who died from suicide.
mhm,
So it's so grateful to see that and to see that, as Rodrigo Vilas said. I'm gonna put this comment here before the questions.
mhm.
I love this comment from Rodrigo Vilar. He said, "It is so great to know that even people that died by suicide will have the support and help of Mary. Nobody's left behind, as Jesus promised us."
Exactly. You know, she's really the mother of all of us, right? So all it's all of us.
Yeah, true. Thank you so much. And we have some questions here. Um, let's see. Actually, we have some questions very similar, but I'm gonna put the Rodrigo Gomez. He's asking, Mary is the mother of all of us. What a privilege. How can we enjoy her presence and be better sons and daughters and learning more from her?
I think, you know, if we follow the gospel of her son, you know, I think that's what, you know, we can honor her and enjoy her presence more because I think that's what, you know, Mary's always showing is like it's she's showing Jesus to us, right? And I think all of this if we study her behavior or the testimony, we can have very big ones, you know, like because it was this the annunciation was saying that she was going to be the mother of Jesus. But sometimes we receive so many different, you know, it might not be exactly that, but today I think we can think about something in our lives that
Mhm.
was as spectacular as, you know, being the mother of Jesus, but either in a good way or in a bad way. And how did we respond, right? I think she's always also asking us, I think to tune in with Maria, with Mary, with her spirit is to pray for peace,
Mhm.
right? Is to seek this connection with God that she had, right? To seek to nurture your faith in a way that you can give the testimony every day, right? That she gave throughout her life too.
Yeah, we have two more questions that they are very similar. I'm
Mhm.
gonna put the both. I'm gonna put one and the second one. The first is from Rodrigo Villar. He's asking, how can we learn more from Mary's example? And Paul is asking, how can we learn from Mary about her resignation when her son was unjustly killed?
Yeah, you know, and that's the thing. I think it's not easy because we are not Mary, right? We are not this high spirit, but as I was preparing for this talk, I kept thinking, oh my gosh, sometimes things happens to my kids, and I I don't think that this is part of their, being killed. It's like an extreme, but even, the smaller things, sometimes if they have a mishap or if they have a setback in life, do I praise the Lord at that time? Do I thank God of that opportunity of growth for my son and my daughter? Or do I question God and I then go into this, thing that I think that they don't deserve, or something like that, So I think, she really had that connection with God. I think every day she was in connection with him. So even though in the crucifixion, I can only imagine, and I think it's Umberto de Campos also that says that the moment that he was crucified, she was there. She stayed there the whole time. And those guards, they were not nice, even to a mom, but she did not leave his side, right? So you can only think how she felt. But at the same time, I think she dug into this, she asked for assistance from God. She prayed in a living prayer at that moment, and she was able to see that that was for a bigger, for a bigger reason. So I guess if you really have to go back to what Kardec tell us, right? If God is just and he's good, then everything that happens has to be for a reason, and that reason cannot be good, bad. It has to be a good reason. So even though it's imaginable, right, that anything can come from violence, but I think we need to be praying more for our kids and enjoying their company, but not getting so much attached to them, because they're
Mhm.
not really ours, right? They are God's
True.
children.
Mhm. Thank you so much once again. Happy Mother's Day for
Thank you.
you. Okay, and
Must-
you will be happy when you come back again.
I'll be
Okay?
back
So,
soon. I promise you.
thank you so much.
Many, many blessings to all of you and much peace.
Thank you. And thank you for your participation in the chat. And now we will move to the preparation for tonight's spiritual treatment. PASS is the transfusion of spiritual energy with the goal of assisting with our physical, emotional, and mental balance. Passes help us to restore a state of harmony and peace by replacing negative energy with healthy, positive energy. In order to receive the best benefits from passes, please follow the audio instructions or remain in prayer. You may close your eyes to help with mentalization. And during the pass, the water you set aside will also absorb the spiritual energy that your family and you can benefit from. So now we will make our prayer in preparation for the pass, which will be our closing prayer as well. So let's close our eyes once again. And Master Jesus, we are here one more time to thank you for everything you have done for us. We thank you for this beautiful talk, and we ask you and Mary to help us to be a better person. May we follow your steps and evolve ourselves. May your simple and humble spirit inspire us to love one another and help our neighbors wherever we go. We ask your protection for this week, and please bless our family, our friends, and may we have a good sleep as well. Once again, thank you, and we ask you and the good spirits to stay with us today and always. So be it.
Let us now prepare ourselves for the moment of the passes and the magnetization of water. Let's now calm our hearts, breathing in and out. Pay attention to your body. Focus on your breath and let yourself be carried by this energy. Let your thoughts pass by without judging them. Let them flow. Allow this light to be the beacon that guides you, and allow these words to penetrate your energy. Make each word an anchor of gratitude, faith, and trust. With the purpose of healing, which takes away my faith, healing every feeling of separation, of pain, let it all dissolve in this moment, leaving only love, gratitude, and trust. We ask God for the presence of our guardian angel and the friendly spirits who welcome us into this enlightened environment of our Spiritist Center. We open our plexus of love and forgiveness by mentalizing a light surrounding our hearts. Find a quiet and comfortable place to begin the mentalization process. Remove all worries from your thoughts. We ask that during the pass you breathe slowly and deeply. Let your body relax and surrender yourself to a deep meditation. Calmly imagine divine energies in soft and colorful light surrounding you in an environment of peace and spiritual warmth. Entrusting God with your most intimate desires, raise your thoughts to Jesus and the emissaries of the spiritual environment. The pass begins with the cleansing of your soul. Imagine a waterfall of crystal clear water pouring over us, removing all the feelings that keep you away from faith and trust. Feel the energy of this water bathing you and deeply breathe in, feeling peace and harmony. Allow this water to wash away all the impurities and spiritual larvae, washing away all the sorrows and resentments, any feelings of hatred and revenge that hold us back and cause us harm, not only from this life, but past ones as well. Now visualize spiritual doctors around you, applying magnetic cleansing passes, sanitizing your spiritual body of all sadness and negative energy. Mentalize these negative thoughts and feelings being washed away, evaporating from your soul, like water evaporating into thin air, and being carried far away from your mind. Surround yourself with the faith that bathes your being, bringing clarity and lucidity, rebalancing every cell in your body. May the water envelop all pain and bring the clarity of opportunity that chooses peace. The answer arises in our hearts, freeing us from all evil and freeing all whom we have caused evil into and who have caused us evil. Washing away all the connections that bind us. Even though we may not understand, we are freeing ourselves from all that causes us harm. Feel this cleansing penetrate your soul and release. Now that we are spiritually cleansed, imagine yourself surrounded by the light of love from the hands of Jesus. At this moment, sing words of faith and gratitude, being faithful to the light that exists in me, planted by the zealous Father. Imagine the sunlight that surrounds and enraptures, freeing us from the chains of everything that holds us down, strengthening your faith. Allow yourself to trust in this light, surrender to it, involved in pleasant feelings and feeling relieved to receive the strengthening lights. Mentalize your spiritual mentors now applying divine light for the strengthening of your mind and your emotions, leaving you feeling emotionally revitalized. Let us now mentalize the magnetization of this water. May we mentalize all the friendly spirits, magnetizing this water and filling it with everything that our bodies, minds, and soul need, so that it may be of help to us when we drink it after the Pass. Thank you, God.
I would like to thank you for joining us tonight, and we will be back next Tuesday here on Spiritism Canada and Continental Concaffers America at 8:30 p.m. East, and next Wednesday on Kardec Radio at 8 p.m. East. Have a good night.
Sometimes it's not so easy. Sometimes it's not so close. Sometimes we build our dreams, but then we see them decompose. When you feel down the dumps, feeling sad and blue, give life a chance, my friend, the sun will shine again on you. Believe you can come through. The rainy days are true. Have little faith in you. Maybe tomorrow you can dream all your dreams again. Though some sorrow remains, it doesn't mean the end. Believe you can come through. The rainy days are true. Sometimes okay to feel blue. Have little faith in you. Dream all your dreams again. Though some sorrow remains, your dreams can get you through. Have little faith.